Hello guys, so today we are learning about reduction formulae. So what is reduction formulae? What do you do? So in trigonometry, we will be having angles. Maybe let's say the angle is maybe 150 degrees. Let's say it's 150 degrees. So we don't want this big number or this big degrees, this big angle, sorry. We need to reduce it to be smaller. Ne? So reduction means reducing. So that's what we will be doing. So we will be having our specific angles that we choose to reduce this. So I'm gonna show you first our functions, which is sine, cosine, then tangent. Like where do they, which is now, maybe you're gonna find it sine theta, cosine theta, tan, which is tangent theta. These are the same thing, just that I wrote them in words, full words. So I'm gonna show you now, where do these exist? Like, how are their signs in the Cartesian plane? So in the Cartesian plane, we will be having our degrees, then the quadrants as well. So let me show you now the Cartesian plane of trigonometry. So I'm going to show you the Cartesian plane, then I'm going to show you these exist in which quadrants. So that's what we will be doing, guys. It's not deep. It's just that you need to follow me when I'm introducing this. So let's have our Cartesian plane here. This is my Cartesian plane. So let me include the degrees as well. So now we're no longer having x-axis and y-axis because we're not dealing with the functions and graphs, But then now we're gonna have degrees, angles. So this is 0 degrees. This is okay. Let me not start with 360. This is 0 degrees. Then when you move anti-clockwise, going like this, you're going to have 90 degrees here. So you're going to have 90 degrees here. Then you are going to have 180 degrees. So you are just from here to here, you're adding 90 degrees. From here to here, you're adding another 90 degrees. Then now you're going to have 270 degrees. Then you have 360 degrees. Okay? So now this is what you will be having in your Cartesian plane of trigonometry. We are currently doing reduction formulae. So we are reducing the angles. Okay, that's what we are doing today. So here I have the first quadrant in this block. Here I have the second quadrant in this block. Here I have the third quadrant in this block. Then I have the fourth quadrant in this block. Okay, so what are we going to do now is to mention that, okay, this function, okay, we're going to be talking about these functions. Number one, we're going to be talking about sine. Let's say our angle is theta at this moment, but then it can change. It can be beta, it can be alpha. So let's say it's theta. Number two, we're going to deal with cosine theta, or let me put tangent. We're going to deal with tangent theta. Number three, we're going to deal with cosine theta. That's what we will be dealing with, guys. So we're going to mention these that they are positive on which quadrant, they are negative on which quadrant. Ne? So on the first quadrant, they are all positive. Ne? So these are all positive. So let me just write A. They are all positive. Then, okay, this is positive in this quadrant. Tangent is positive in this quadrant. Cosine is positive in this quadrant. Okay, let's go now to the second quadrant. Sine is only positive in the second quadrant, right? Others are negative. All of them are negative. So it's only sine that exists here. It's his home, this one. It's sine theta that is positive here in this quadrant. Other ones are negative. They are all negative. So I'm not going to write the negatives one. So they are all positive here. A stands for all. Then sine theta stands for what is positive here in this quadrant. So sine theta is positive in this quadrant. Then in the third quadrant, what is positive in the third quadrant? Okay, in the third quadrant, tangent theta is positive. So tangent theta is positive in the what? In the third quadrant. Others are negative. Sine is negative, cosine is negative. So we don't write negative ones. Then we come to the fourth quadrant now. What is positive in the fourth quadrant? Cosine theta is positive in the cosine in the fourth quadrant. So it's positive here in the fourth quadrant. But all of them, they are positive in the first quadrant. Okay? So this is what you should know at this moment, that they are all positive in the first quadrant. Sine is positive in the second quadrant. Tangent is positive in the third quadrant. Cosine is positive in the fourth quadrant. Okay? So what you need to do now is keeping in your head or in your mind that tangent, when it's in the fourth quadrant, is negative. Sine, when it's in the fourth quadrant, is negative. Let's come to the third quadrant. When sine is in the third quadrant, it's negative. When cosine is in the third quadrant, it's negative. Then we come to the second quadrant. When tangent is in the second quadrant, it's negative. When cosine is in the second quadrant, is negative. So that's what you need to do. So the abbreviation that can help you, we call it CAST. So to remember, C in the fourth quadrant. Okay, let me write it in another color. So this is the abbreviation that is gonna help you. It's called CAST. So C is let me write it. Let's put this. So C is in the fourth quadrant, standing for cosine, is positive in the fourth quadrant. Then A is in the first quadrant, standing for all positive. They are all positive in the first quadrant. Then now we come to the second quadrant. Second quadrant, they are all positive as well. Sorry. Second quadrant, it's only sine that is positive. So we're going to write S. So that's for this on cast. Then A all, then C cosine. Then T, the last one, it's for tangent. Tangent is positive in the third quadrant. Okay? So this is how you're going to remember cast. C cosine, A all positive, second quadrant, sine, then tangent. Okay? So that's what you need to remember when you forgot which one is positive, which one is negative. Then cast is the way. Okay, now we are done defining or positioning our functions. So now let's talk about the direction of these quadrants. how do we go to these quadrants? First quadrant, how do we go to the first quadrant? How do we go to the second quadrant? Okay, so go with me, don't be left behind. If you are left behind, pause and uh, move it back so that you can listen again, then you go with me. Okay, so now let's talk about the positioning, not the positioning, but the direction of this quadrant. Let's direct each other about the way of the quadrant, like of the quadrants. So how do they go in terms of directing? So now if I direct you, go to the second quadrant, how do we do? Go to the third quadrant, how do we do? Go to the fourth quadrant, how do we do? Go to the first quadrant, how do we do? So I'm going to show you now the direction. So if you have a clock, if you still remember at home, you're going to have a clock on the wall, then the clock will be going this way. It's called clockwise direction this way. Ne? When the clock goes this way, it's called clockwise direction. So it's clockwise direction. Then even here we do have clockwise direction. Look at this. You see here we do have clockwise direction. We do have clockwise direction as well. Okay, let me remove my clock here. I'm gonna write it again when I show you another direction of the Cartesian plane. Then we do have a clockwise direction as well. So this is our clockwise direction. This is our clock here going clockwise direction. So it's clockwise direction. Can you see that? So again, the clock will never go in this direction. So we call it an opposite direction. So we have clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. So this is anti-clockwise direction. The clock has an opposite direction, but it doesn't go to that direction. So it's called anti-clockwise direction. So it's like this. But then I'm gonna start explaining more about the clockwise direction. How do we do the clockwise direction in this Cartesian plane? So when we talk about the what's this, the clockwise direction in trigonometry, Cartesian plane. So we say that when the function goes this way, it's gonna, sorry, not the function, this angle, when 90 degrees go this way, we say that the angle is gonna be negative. Ne? The angle is gonna be what? Negative. So let's say our angle is theta. I like theta because it's the one that is common. So we're gonna have negative sign of the angle when it goes clockwise direction. Okay? So this is what? Clockwise direction. So if this angle now, I want to come here in the first quadrant. How do I go? I go in this way. Oh, not, let me not write here in the fourth quadrant. You will think I'm talking about the fourth quadrant. I will go this way, start from 90 degrees. There. Then go, and end here. So that means my direction is gonna go negative angle. So let me put theta here. So I'm gonna have 90 degrees minus theta, which is my direction to the first quadrant. Okay? This is my direction to the first quadrant. So how do I go now to the second quadrant. Now I won't start from 90 degrees. It's not allowed. I will start from 180 and go back. Eh? So now it's gonna be my second quadrant. When I go to the second quadrant, it's gonna be 180 degrees. Then I go clockwise. Then I'm gonna put negative angle here, which is negative theta. Then now I want to go. So when I go to in the third quadrant, I'm gonna start here and go to 270. So it's gonna be plus theta because it's gonna be going anti-clockwise. But I'm still gonna explain it anti-clockwise as well. So let's come now to the fourth quadrant, the one that is gonna use negative. We are still in negative. So how do I go to the fourth quadrant? I'm gonna start from 360 degrees, then I go like this, ne? So that's what I will do. So that means here in the fourth quadrant, the direction to go to the fourth quadrant is 360 degrees minus what? Minus theta. That's where I will go to the fourth quadrant. Then I'm done now with the one for the anti-clockwise, for the clockwise, sorry. Let me go now to the direction of clockwise, of anti-clockwise. So this one was clockwise direction. Then now I'm gonna go to the anti-clockwise. So my anti-clockwise, this one is going clockwise, then this one is gonna go anti-clockwise. So this is it's gonna go this way, anti-clockwise. So this is how we should see our direction in the Cartesian plane. So it's gonna start here 0 degrees, then it's gonna go anti-clockwise. So it's going anti-clockwise like this. It's opposing the clock. That's why they are saying anti. They mean opposite. So now can you see? Oh, let me not confuse you. Let me put another color so that you can see the difference. By now you might be confused now. Which one is which here? Let me use another color so that you can see the difference. Let me use green. Okay, I said when you talk about anti-clockwise, you start from 0, you against the clock. You are against the clock. So this is your way opposing the clock. So this is anti-clockwise. Okay? So when you're going against the clock, you go anti. So that means it's anti-clockwise. Can you see here? I mentioned this arrow. So that means now your theta is going to change its sign. It's going to be positive. Okay? So when you go from 0 to 90 degrees, it's going to be 90 degrees plus theta. It's going to change now. It's going to be 90 degrees plus theta. It means you are in the first quadrant, but you go anti-clockwise. Am I correct? No. Let me see. 90 degrees plus theta, it's going to be on the second quadrant. Then theta plus 90 degrees is in the first quadrant. Okay, guys, it's still the same thing though. It's just an rearrangement. So let's see here. 90 degrees. Okay, let's leave it like this here. Let's talk about now 90 degrees plus theta. Okay, we're gonna leave it here now. This direction is already fulfilled. We're gonna talk about the 90 degrees plus theta now. So it's gonna be on the second quadrant. So when you say 90 degrees, then you say plus theta. That means you say plus angle. So you are continuing to the second quadrant, 90 degrees plus theta. Then you go again to the third quadrant. You're gonna say 180 degrees plus theta because you're continuing like this. These are the ones, guys, that we're gonna be talking about, not 27. 27 we don't consider it. Again, I forgot to mention this one. Again, you can add this as your fourth quadrant, negative theta. When you find something negative theta, it's your what? It's your fourth quadrant. Okay? So that will mean that it's your fourth quadrant. When you see negative theta, it means that your angle was just here at 0 degrees. Then all of a sudden, it doesn't go anti-clockwise, it goes clockwise. So it's gonna go to this angle, to this quadrant, obvious. So it's gonna be fourth quadrant. So this is the fourth quadrant as well. That means, let's mention it now here. That means now your first quadrant, it's 90 degrees minus theta. That means this is your first quadrant. Then your second quadrant, it's 180 degrees minus theta. That means it's your second quadrant. Then coming here, 180 degrees plus theta. That means it's your third quadrant. Guys, please don't make mistakes. Hence why I'm making sure that I show you everything here. I want you to notice this. So fourth quadrant is 360 minus theta, 360 degrees minus theta. So this is your fourth quadrant. Then again, your fourth quadrant is in 2 now. Your fourth quadrant can be negative theta as well. So they all go to that. But let me write it like this. So they all go to the fourth quadrant, both of them. And also here, 90 degrees plus theta. 90 degrees plus theta, it also go to the second quadrant. So I'm going to show you now. Okay, let me write second quadrant here. So I'm going to show you these ones. They are called cofunctions. But we're going to deal with that. These ones, 90 degrees minus theta and 90 degrees plus theta. They are called cofunctions, so they are equal. So I'm going to prove for you why we say they are equal. For now, let's just learn these positions of the graph. Then, after we are done, but then we are already done. I will just show you the example, like how to apply these. So if we say, maybe let me give you an example. Let's start with the third quadrant. Let's start with this one. No, let's start with we can start with the third quadrant. Why are we starting with the third quadrant? Let's start with the first quadrant. With the second quadrant, sorry, because this one here and here, these are called cofunctions, okay? So they are called cofunctions. I'm still going to talk about them more and more. They are special. So they are called to be equal. But then we're going to talk about that. Hence why we say cofunction. That means they work together. So for now, let's go and make an example. How do we apply this reduction formulae or this positioning of functions? So we're gonna use now our second quadrant. We're not gonna use the first because it has a cofunction, so we're gonna use it later. So now let's go and have examples. So these are our not yeah, we can have examples, not practice problems. So we're gonna have practice problems later. So these are our examples. So let me have my number one. My number one here, it's gonna be sine 180 degrees minus theta. So we said that we are dealing with what? With the second quadrant part. I want to show you how it's done. So now what is the answer here? 180 degrees minus theta is in what? Is in which quadrant? Is in the second quadrant. That means, how is the sign in the second quadrant? It is positive. So you're going to write positive sine theta. You take that angle as it is, then you put it here. So let's have number two. Number two now it's going to be cosine. What's happening here now? It's removed here. So examples. These are my examples here. So cosine. Then you see we reduced this to one function. It was having this. So 180 degrees minus theta. So what will be the answer here? It's going to be negative cosine theta, because how is cosine in the second quadrant? It's positive. Only sign that is, it's negative. Only sign that cosine is negative in the second quadrant. Only sign that is positive. So number three, let's check our tangent. Open brackets 180 degrees minus theta. So how is the tangent in the second quadrant? It means is negative. Ne? So you're gonna write a negative tangent. Then yeah. Okay. That's what you're gonna write there. So here it's positive. But don't write positive like this. I'm just showing you that it's positive there. So you know that if it is no positive, it's positive. If there is no positive sign, there's no need to put positive. So now you know our examples in the second quadrant. Then let's go to the third quadrant and see. Third quadrant. So let's have our number one again. Sine. Then how is the third quadrant? Third quadrant, we say that it's 180 plus theta. 180 degrees plus theta. Then what is the answer here? The answer is negative sine theta, because sine is negative in the third quadrant. Then we write cosine again. So 180 degrees plus theta. Then what is the answer here? The answer is negative cosine theta, because the cosine is negative in the third quadrant. So here tangent again, open bracket 180 degrees minus plus theta, sorry. Then what is the answer here? It's positive tangent theta, because tangent is positive in what? In the third quadrant. Okay, let's have an example again of the what? Of the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant is what? Is 360 minus theta or negative theta. So number one, sine 360 degrees minus theta, sorry. 360 degrees minus theta. Then Oh, must write the answer. Then what is the answer here? It's negative sine theta because it's in the fourth quadrant. You see by that direction, 360 minus theta, it means fourth. Then cosine, then 360 degrees minus theta. So what will be the answer here? You can pause and answer the question on your own. So here it will be the negative. It will be positive. Sorry, it will be positive. My apologies. With my background is a little bit noisy. Cosine theta, it's positive. So number 3. Then we have tangent, open brackets, then it's going to be 360 degrees minus theta. Then how is the answer here? It's negative tangent theta. So this is how it goes, guys. Okay, now let's include this one because they mean the same thing. So we're going to include the one for negative theta. So let's have this. If you have negative theta here, what will be the answer? The answer is negative sine theta because it's in the fourth quadrant. Number 2, cosine, then negative theta. It's cosine, positive cosine theta because it's in the fourth quadrant. Number 3, what will be the answer here? Tangent, then open brackets, negative theta. So it's in negative tangent theta because it's in the fourth quadrant. So this is the same thing, guys. Don't be confused if you see negative theta. Okay, to write the directions of this quadrant, again to remind you, let me put another color so that I can show you. So this is gonna be 360 degrees minus theta, or it's either negative. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on here. So you're gonna have here negative theta. It's reacting. It's not reacting. So it's either 360 degrees minus theta or negative theta. So they mean fourth quadrant. That's what you're gonna write there. Here you're gonna have 180 degrees plus theta. Okay, so it's third quadrant. Here you're gonna have 180 degrees minus theta. So this is your second quadrant here. This is what you're gonna face, guys, when we are dealing with these reduction formula. So it's not the end. I'm just introducing you to what we will be doing here. So this is gonna be our end of the lesson. This is gonna be the end of the lesson. Then we will do the test that is gonna follow. So this is just simple. Also, if you kind of have the equation where you need to divide, it is a fraction. You need to divide, you need to multiply, you need to cancel, all those kinds of things.